Hey guys, it's Lauren. Welcome back to another video. I am so excited for today's video because I'm going to be doing my hair growth timeline from literally month 0 when I was bald all the way to now almost 2 years post chemo. If you watched my video last week, I vlogged getting my first haircut after chemo. I've seen a few other people do this video and I thought it was extremely helpful, so I wanted to do my own version of it for anyone else out there. So let's go ahead and get into my hair growth timeline. So I wanted to start off by showing you month 0, meaning I had just gotten off chemo. I wanted to show a before picture so you could kind of see what I looked like. I did not lose all of my eyebrows until after treatment. I think I had like 3 or 4 eyebrow hairs left and they fell out when the new hair started to grow back. And if you don't know, you're not going to start growing hair immediately after you finish treatment. It takes a little while for the chemo drugs to affect your hair follicles. For me, after my first round, when I still had my hair, I started noticing it falling out in about 2 weeks after my first chemo round ended, and I ended up shaving it. So it takes a little while for the chemo drugs to affect your hair follicles, meaning it's going to take a month or 2 to start seeing hair regrowth because those chemo drugs still have to run through your body and they're still going to make your hair fall out. It's honestly hard for me to look at these pictures because of how sick I look, and I don't feel like that person at all. So the next picture I wanted to show is 1 month post chemo. I finished chemo on December 16th, 2019, and 1 month post chemo was January 16th, 2020. So as you can see, there's not much of a difference. If you look closely, like when I zoom in, I can see a little shadow around here because my eyebrow hair started to grow back the tiniest bit. And if I zoom into my eyes, there's little tiny eyelash stubs starting to grow back too. So there was a little hair regrowth, but not much of a difference. Not that noticeable. Still looked sick and just not cute. So for the first month after I finished chemo, I was taking a lot of progress pictures because my eyebrows and eyelashes were really growing back. So I'm going to go through all of these really quick. This was January 23rd, so a little over a month post chemo. As you can see, my eyebrows are growing in more and so are my eyelashes, and there's a little tiny peach fuzz on my head. And then this one was taken January 30th, and you can tell a huge difference on this one. My eyebrows started to grow back so wacky. It was terrible. This picture, you can really tell a difference. You can see my eyelashes were growing back. They were still extremely short, but they were there. You can see some of the peach fuzz more growing on my head. It looks a little darker. And like I said, the eyebrows are the most noticeable part. I decided to go to my eyebrow lady that I went to before to get my eyebrows threaded. I got them shaped and I also got them tinted, meaning I didn't get like microblading or anything. She tinted my eyebrows and I decided to do that because I was tired of filling in my eyebrows every day. It took like 30 extra minutes to do my makeup every day because I had to draw on my eyebrows. So I had her put that tint on there and that helped tremendously. So if your eyebrows are growing back weird, go get your eyebrows tinted or something because it will help you out so much. And they also looked so much better after getting them cleaned up. I took this picture a few days before my birthday. I have my wig on, but I just wanted to show you the eyebrows after I got them done. And then this was 2 months post chemo. So this is where I really started to tell a difference. This was the phase where I started to look like I had a buzz cut. It was not cute. It's probably one of my least favorite hair phases. But yeah, you can really tell that my hair was starting to grow back in this picture. And here's another one from the side view so you can kind of see it. Again, the hair was still really soft. It was almost like peach fuzz, like I said. So this next picture was taken on February 24th. Again, my eyelashes were getting longer and my hair was getting longer. Really embracing the buzz cut phase here. So now we're moving on to month 3 post chemo. I was growing out of the buzz cut phase. I also want to mention how fuzzy my face was, and I've never heard anybody talk about this. My hair started to grow back. I had so much peach fuzz on the sides of my face, like it was crazy. And then one day it randomly all just went away. Like it's not super long and fuzzy anymore. It's back to normal. But at first there was so much peach fuzz on my face. I don't know what that was all about. I'm pretty sure I was still wearing wigs at this point. I stopped wearing wigs pretty early because I was like, I'm over this. Like I just want to rock my buzz cut. I was taking progress pictures like every other day just because I was so excited. I feel like everybody does that. This next picture was taken on March 24th, and as you can see, the hair on my head was really starting to get thicker. You can also tell that my eyelashes were completely back to normal. My eyelashes would fall out or thin out like every couple of months. Like I'll be washing my face at night and I'll look at my hands and I have like 10 eyelashes that have fallen out. Moving on to 4 months post chemo. Before, you could kind of still see my scalp, and this is the first picture where I feel like my hair was really starting to get thicker and you could not see my scalp anymore. And here's where it gets exciting, y'all. Around April, so 4 months post chemo, I started to notice the back of my hair was getting wavy, and I was like, chemo curls? Question mark, because my hair was pinned straight before chemo, no texture at all, and I got chemo curls. I was very excited because I had never had curly hair before, and I had never dealt with textured hair, so it was so fun to get to play around with new products. So around the end of April, I took this progress picture. I feel like my hair looks a lot darker than the other pictures. I think it was starting to get its color back. I have the same colored hair that I did before. The hair color didn't change at all. It's just the texture changed. Okay, moving on to 5 months post chemo. Again, not much of a difference. I really had like the pixie cut going on now. It was really easy to do. Honestly, this was a really convenient hairstyle because it took 5 seconds to wash, 5 seconds to dry, and like 5 seconds to do every morning. I will say the bed head was pretty rough. It's just all over the place when I woke up in the morning, so I always had to do it. And as you can see in the back, I was just starting to see a little bit of waves coming through and a little more texture. The whole hair regrowth process is just a long waiting game. You're waiting for the length you want it to be at. Like, I would never be bold enough to shave my head on my own. It was just really fun to play around with my hair at every single length. Like I said, I wouldn't have been brave enough to ever try to go that short. You just gotta make the best out of a bad situation, and that's what I was doing. So now we're moving on to 6 months post chemo. At this rate, I was just kind of brushing it up every day to style it. At this point, I could say that it looked like an intentional pixie cut, short haircut, and you can tell that my eyebrows were fully grown back, and so were my eyelashes. It took about, I'd say, 3 or 4 months to have full eyebrows and eyelashes back. It did not take that long at all. So I took these pictures on June 15th, and this is where I really started to see the chemo curls starting to come in. You can really tell in the back. I remember I was getting so excited. I feel like I wouldn't have liked my short hair as much if I didn't have chemo curls, and I feel like if it was pinned straight, I would have worn my wigs for longer and I just wouldn't have liked it as much. That was 6 months post chemo. Moving on to 7 months. As you can see, it's getting longer in the front, covering my ears more. So moving on to 8 months post chemo, I remember I figured out how to blow dry my hair and kind of make it swoosh up even more. I don't even know how to explain it. I just had more of a poof in the front and I really liked that. And then you can really see the chemo curls in the back. You can see that the mullet phase was starting to make an appearance. I took this picture on my 1-year cancerversary, so August 23rd, 2020. The chemo curls were coming through strong. I absolutely loved them. And yeah, my hair was just getting longer. Like I said, a long waiting game. Now, this was 9 months post chemo. This was kind of a weird phase for me. It was like starting to kind of look like a mullet. It was just kind of starting to get a little awkward, I remember. So these 3 pictures were from 10 months post chemo, and you can really see the chemo curls forming in the back. The weird thing was that I only had chemo curls in the back of my hair. The back of my hair was extremely curly and textured, and then this hair was literally just pinned straight. Like, it's been pinned straight this whole time. Like I said, really weird. I've heard other people have the same thing where their hair is like 2 different textures, and it's really weird. At 11 months post chemo, you can really see the mullet coming in, I think. It's not actually a mullet. I just called it the mullet phase because it felt like one. It was all one length, but obviously your bottom layer is gonna look longer because it's down here. So if you have hair to here and you have this hair that's just up here, it's very weird. You can really see the growth in this picture. The hair that is growing in is straight, but the bottom is curly. So this picture right here is probably one of my favorite hair regrowth phases because I would put little clips on my hair like this and pin it back, and then I'd have all the curls, and it just looked really cute. And now 1 year post chemo, I remember I was just trying to pin back the awkward layers, y'all. When your hair starts to grow out and you get to about 1 year post chemo, you're gonna have awkward layers. And the best tip I can give you is to use bobby pins to pin this hair back, because then this hair will be showing through and it'll make it look like this is the length of your hair all around. Little hack, bobby pins will be your best friend, I promise you. You can kind of see where the two textures separate because the bottom half extremely curly, but the top half was straight. So about 1 year post chemo, I ended up getting a trim just at home. Like, I literally just asked my mom to cut off the bottom layer because it was getting very awkward and kind of out of control. So I took this picture right after I got my trim. Didn't look much different at all, but it felt better to have that bottom layer gone so I didn't look like I had so much of a mullet. So technically I've had 2 haircuts post chemo, but I didn't go in to my actual hairstylist until a few weeks ago. So I just did a little maintenance trim situation here and that helped a lot. So this was 13 months post chemo. As you can see, the chemo curls were starting to grow out more, but I was just really excited that my hair was getting longer. So yeah, this was 1 year and 1 month post chemo. And then around 14 months, I was able to braid my hair again. And I was so excited about this because I hadn't been able to braid my hair since I lost it. And so I was really excited to braid it for the first time. I did a little side braid and then put it in a claw clip. This picture right here was 14 months post chemo. Once again, the chemo curls at the bottom were almost completely grown out at this point. And then around 15 months post chemo, I started to curl my hair, and that was really exciting because that helped a lot kind of even out the texture between the chemo curls at the bottom and the straight hair on top. So as you can see, I needed a haircut at this point because the bottom of my hair was just extremely frizzy, I think is the word. And then finally 17 months post chemo, you can really see how much I needed a haircut in this picture. All of the chemo curls at the bottom right here, and then just the rest of it. It looks really long in this picture, but like I said, I needed to get those chemo curls cut off at the bottom. And then finally we are here, 18 months post chemo. This is what my hair looks like. I got my first real haircut a few weeks ago and I'm just so happy about it. So she cut off the bottom layers. Obviously you can tell it's straight right here now. She also went around and kind of cut off the ends because they were a little frizzy and I had some split ends. But yeah, that is literally my hair growth timeline since January of 2020. I have seriously enjoyed growing out my hair and documenting it. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I post progress pictures all the time. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like. It really helps me out. Make sure you comment and subscribe for more hair videos like this one. I'm sure I'll do more hairstyles in the future just because I'm not documenting hair growth anymore. It doesn't mean I won't do any other hairstyle videos, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Thank y'all so much for watching this video and I will see you next week.